So this is the feedback tutorial for Algebra 1, making sense of algebra. In this tutorial we're focusing on 3 topics, which are, first of all, using letter symbols, particularly using letter symbols to write or form an equation. We're going to look at the nth term of a sequence, and we're going to look at multiplying out 2 brackets, or in other words, expanding the product of 2 linear expressions. So, forming equations. The most tricky part with questions like this one is being able to identify exactly what it's asking you to do. The first part of the question asked us to simplify a plus 2a plus 3a. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 a's. Quite often when questions are labelled 2a, b, the 2 parts of the question will link together, and you'll notice the same letters are used in question 2a as there are in the diagram for question 2b. So 2a, a and 3a make 6a. Now there's no more information in this question, but we do know something else about this shape. All these angles in the middle of this circle are a full turn, so they add up to 360 degrees. So we've got 2 things. We've got 6a and we've got 360. Both of them equal the same thing. If you can find 2 things that are equal, you can write an equation, and once you can write an equation, you can work out what 1a is. So if 6 times something makes 360, then that something must be 360 divided by 6, which is 60. In this question you get 1 mark for writing down your equation, and you get 1 mark for identifying the correct answer. If you'd like to practice forming equations more using MathsWatch, then you're looking for clip 106. Second question we're going to look at is sequences. Now on this question, almost everybody managed to find the next 2 terms in this sequence, which is add on 7. Most people recognised in this sequence that the difference is changing, and there's a classic mistake here where if you see the difference in the first 2 numbers you assume that they're all going to be the same, but you can see from this question it's not always true. So it goes up by 4, then it goes up by 6, then it goes up by 8, so then it must go up by 10, making this number 30. A different sequence then starts at 4 and is now going down, and this one's gone down 3. So take away 3. It's gone down 3 again. It's gone down 3 again. So write down a rule for this sequence. Subtract 3 each time. Always check the difference between all the numbers, not just the first 2. To extend this a little bit further, if you were writing down the nth term for this sequence, we know it's going down by 3 every time, so our nth term formula will begin -3 lots of the number, -3n. And then the question is, what's the difference between the -3 times table and our sequence? So -3, -6, -9, -12. That's this rule, -3n, the -3 times table. And our sequence is always 7 more than that. So the nth term formula for this sequence would be minus 3n plus 7. If you want to practice finding the nth term formula for a sequence using MathsWatch, you can do, and it is clip number 112. There it is. The final thing I want us to have a look at from this algebra assessment is expanding and simplifying two brackets. Couple of ways of looking at this question. You're timesing two numbers together, but we don't know at this stage what those two numbers are. There are a number of ways of doing it, and the one you were most confident with was this one, the grid method. X minus 3, x plus 1. Using the grid makes sure that you get all four terms that you then need to simplify. So you expand it, so x times x and x times 1, minus 3 times x minus 3 times 1, so you end up with four numbers, and then you simplify them. So x times x is x squared, 3 times x is 3x, and this one is a negative number, because one of the numbers is negative. 1 times x is x, and that will be positive because they're both positive, and 1 times 3 is 3. 1 is negative, 1 is positive, so the answer must be negative. That's x squared plus x minus 3x minus 3. Oops, there we go. X squared plus x minus 3x minus 3. Now it's this bit in the middle that we can simplify further, because we have some x's that we can put together. 1 plus 1 minus 3 is minus 2 overall. So we've got 1x squared minus 2x and minus 3. One mark for identifying all four terms. 1 mark for identifying all four terms, and you'll get 1 mark for correctly simplifying and identifying your answer. So in this tutorial we've gained 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 marks, which is almost a GCSE grade. If you do want to practice multiplying out two brackets, then you're looking for clip number 103A or 103B.